All right, we're gonna start our rice dish now. We're gonna get this pan nice and hot, and we're gonna add a little bit of oil. And then we're gonna get our rice. Always wash your rice, always get the starches off, but in this case we lightly washed it because I wanna maintain some of those starches. And we're gonna get this rice in the pan with the oil, kind of toast it up a little bit. So we'll just move that rice around and get it toasted. And once it starts to brown up a little bit, we're gonna incorporate some diced onion and garlic, and then we're gonna start adding our stock. So the technique behind this is basically like a risotto, but a little bit more casual with just some stuff we have around the house. It's like a risotto in sweatpants, kind of. Once that rice starts to toast a little bit, I'm gonna throw in some of this diced onion. Make that a little translucent and add more color on the rice. We want to keep this moving around in the pan. We don't want it to stick, we don't want it to burn, we don't want it to overcook. You're going to impart some bitter flavors into it. And once you see those onions starting to turn translucent, what you want to do is get some of your garlic, throw it in that rice. We're going to cook the garlic a little bit. And that'll be the step right before we start adding the stock. The garlic's the last thing you want to put in because you don't want the garlic to overcook either. Next to the rice we have our stock, and I brought it up, made it a little warm. I don't want to put some cold stock into my pan. It's going to bring the temperature of your pan down. It's going to take this dish longer to complete. So have a little stock pot next to you, warm it up slightly. It doesn't have to be at a boil, but make sure it's warm. And we're going to start incorporating that into our rice. So that sizzle is what you want to hear. And we're going to add it in steps. We don't want to drown the rice in this stock. We want the stock to cook down a little bit. So we have just enough stock to where it's starting to poke up through the rice. And we're going to let it cook down. And as it cooks down, we're going to add more. And we're going to do that repeatedly in steps. All right, so some of our stock is reduced down, and that means it's time to add some more. So we're just going to keep repeating this process quite a few times until our rice starts to soften up. And when it's at the texture you want it, that's when we'll do the finish. We're looking for the liquid to kind of reduce down and then that steam to cook the rice. So I have the liquid coming. We're going to reduce it again one more time, and then we're going to do the final steps, and I'll show you how to finish this dish. We're going to finish it with some butter and some cheese that we have. Grated cheese around your house will work fine. If you don't have access to that, any kind of dairy that you have, we'll finish this nicely. All right, now that most of our liquid is evaporated out and we have this nice soft rice to eat, what we're going to do is we're going to start incorporating some of our fat to kind of make it creamy. So we're going to bring the heat down really low, and we're going to throw a couple tablespoons of butter in there. And then I have some cool dried herbs that we can just kind of knock around in that. We'll stir that in. And then we'll start incorporating some of that shredded cheese we have around the house. And again, any type of cheese you have will work. This is going to be delicious regardless of what you use. We'll just make sure that's folded in consistently. And that butter and cheese is going to combine together and create this really creamy, rich rice dish. Like I said, risotto with sweatpants. And we have that nice creamy texture. And once we don't see that butter and cheese anymore, we can serve it. Just keep moving it around. Keep mixing those starches with the butter and the dairy and the fat and the cheese. All right, and now we'll just plate some of it. Just finish with a little black pepper. And there we go. Risotto in sweatpants with all the stuff you have at home.